Hi, so today I'm going to share a little video with you which is about the use of grounding techniques. And the reason I want to do this video with you is within your role, often many of you as maternity nurses, of using that technique in the work that you do. Right? I think it's often needed to ground ourselves when we come into a situation. So if you can hit the subscribe button on the right, that will really help support this channel. Thank you. My name's Lynn Murphy. I've been working now for the past 25 years with women on the journey through pregnancy, labour and birth, into motherhood and beyond. I've collaborated with Babyem for a number of years. There's a lot of overlap with our beliefs of how to support new families. Primarily, I trained as an active birth teacher, which is all around childbirth education, as well as a pre- and postnatal yoga teacher. That is a big part of the work that I still do. I've done a number of other trainings along the way, but the two that probably get more incorporated into my work still is the beauty that is baby massage, which keeps us in touch, and also a lot more work, sadly, around trauma birth recovery, 3-step rewind. I do a fair bit of mother mentoring, run circles of new mothers, and also importantly work training other birth workers and yoga teachers. Where shall we start for this little session for your well-being? But definitely something that might feed through into the support that you give new mothers. I'm a great believer that if we model looking calm and at ease and are fully grounded in a moment, it helps all of those around us to drop into that space as well. And then I'm sure there's moments when you go into a new home with a new mother and baby where you can literally feel the anxiety, the tension in the air, and that's due to all those hormones that we all release, but particularly new mothers, they're quite highly charged in hormones, that make them feel pretty vulnerable. So that's something it's palpable, we feel it in the air when there's an element of anxiety. So how can you be when you walk into that space? Well, I'm going to invite you now, in that space you'd probably be standing, possibly not, you might be sitting on a kitchen chair, and I'm going to invite you to come and sit as I am now, and just think about how you normally sit on a chair. Chairs love us to lean back and lounge, that's not a great place to ground ourselves, so can I just suggest that you come and sit on the edge of the chair so that you could just have a little shift, right, of your weight back and forth and really feel into what is your sit bones. So in that way we can start to feel more and more alignment in our bodies, and I just invite you to rest the palms of your hands on your thighs, right? And then feel the energy move down into your feet, and if you rest your eyes for a moment, just feel into the soles of your feet and how they're making contact with the earth. Drop a little more into your heels, into the outer edges, into the base of that big toe. Literally that wonderful footprint that we make. And maybe already you're beginning to just quietly notice the breath. Right? So the feet are planted beautifully on the ground. You can let your awareness move back up into your pelvis now and feel that sense of balance coming to find itself in your 2 sit bones. Hands resting on your thighs. Right? Begin to feel the arrangement of the upper body. So think shoulders above hips. Feel a sense of your head floating above your pelvis. So there's a wonderful thread moving down through you. You might want to envisage your spine almost like a string of pearls, right? And you're just lightly resting one on top of the other. Notice if you hold tension through your neck. Right? Maybe just a little moment to be aware of how the head rests itself there. Right? It might just be a need to just drop the chin slightly and smile. Right? That might be an inward smile, but anything that gives you that permission to begin to soften. And now could you just bring your hands and rest them on your belly So you can literally touch your fingertips and your thumb and have your fingertips just around where your pubic bone is, and your thumbs will probably meet just around where the navel is. And so you're embracing that lower belly area, right? And all I'm going to suggest now is that you either drop your gaze or indeed let your eyes close and just notice what you feel in the belly. And you're noticing what you feel in the belly as your breath quietly moves you. And I've deliberately not said how to breathe, right? I want you to start with just noticing your breath in the area of your belly. And maybe what you begin to notice is that when you're breathing out, right, there's a little drawing away from the hands possibly. And as you receive the breath in, are you noticing your belly wanting to expand? Let it. Yeah? Don't hold on to that. Let it soften and relax into your hands. When we tap into the breath through the belly area, our emotional center, right, we really can begin to calm the nervous system. So again, just think about the power of that in a moment. A moment in time when everything around you feels a little anxious, right? So stay with that, if you can, for another 5 rounds of the breath. And as you begin to quietly notice your breath, it's just an invitation that it's moving in through your nostrils. And if it feels helpful, breathe out through your mouth, right? But just soft, relaxed lips. Yeah? Almost like you're just blowing out a candle. Keep it soft. And you might begin to notice there's a little pause at the end of that out breath. And then a little pause at the end of the in. Don't make it happen. It's just a quiet observation. And in that way, just taking a few moments, right, to feel into your breath in a more embodied way is incredibly empowering. So, a question, is this something that's different for you? Is it making you feel uncomfortable in any way? Is this something familiar? Do write a few comments, right, if it's resonating in any way with you. Right? I just want to share one more of a simple little exercise around connecting you to your breath in quite a quick way. Right? I often use this with new mums as well. It might literally just be the phrase, take 5. Yeah, we've all heard that phrase, haven't we? And it often means take 5, just have a break for 5 minutes. And so imagine the power of that for a new mum. You may be changing your baby's nappy, doing whatever, and you give her permission to take 5. Right? Go make yourself a cuppa, whatever. But beyond that, we could actually link it to 5 rounds of the breath. And so that's usually what I'm offering new mums as well, and I offer it to you now. Right? Just to follow that exhale initially, all the way down through the body, let it find your feet and the earth beneath you, and then just notice the in-breath when it happens. You don't have to make that happen. It happens in response, physiologically. It's magic. And then what I'd like to add into that possibly, that is some touch. So you could bring up one hand in front of you. I'm going to use my left hand because I'm more right-handed. And what you're going to do is just look at this hand, right? 5 digits, really useful because we're going to do 5 breaths, right? And then just taking your index finger, just come and find this little area here on the outside of your wrist, yeah, at the base of your thumb. And then as you next inhale, you can just let that finger really lightly trace up to the fingertip. If you can with eyes closed, it can be even more powerful. And then as the exhale happens, you just slide down into the valley. Right? So inhaling up to the tip of the finger and exhale. Breathing in and out. You can go much slower. In and out. Go at whatever pace suits you. In and out. Till you find yourself at the wrist down here, below the little finger. If you have all the time in the world, you could take another 5 and retrace your steps. But I wonder what you felt if you managed to even close your eyes and use that lightest of touch. So that's 2 really simple techniques for you to use around your breath and helping to just ground you in a moment. I want to say one thing more actually though. When you are ever feeling incredibly anxious, if you're picking up any anxiety, you just feel nerves before you go into a new place, remember to breathe out first. That's all I'm going to say, but that's really important. It will really help the in-breath come in. And again, take that 5. So I'm going to make accessible a freebie for you, and that will just reiterate the things we've worked with today, and maybe a little bit more around breath as a real tool to help to ground you. So if you can, before you leave today, hit the subscribe button and share this with a friend or anybody indeed that you think it would be useful for. That would be great. Thank you.